How judges are appointed or elected varies from state to state in the United States. In some states, the judges also have to get elected, and others they get selected or they get appointed. Now, what has happened is that many district level judges are now beginning to issue nationwide injunctions, although they are not supposed to do it. But it has been happening, and one decision that was regarding USAID went all the way up to the Supreme Court of the United States, where the Chief Justice of America, John Roberts, actually struck down the injunction, and a lot of things are happening after that. Let's take a quick look at this because this affects again USAID and everything, all the shenanigans, the $60 billion budget that it was enjoying, how it was dispersing money to all the wrong causes, and so on and so forth. I have a small slide deck to share with you. I request all of you to like this video and then please subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so. Here we go. So, SCOTUS cracks down on activist judges. Who are these activist judges? Well, one of them is the federal judge Aamir Ali, who attempted to force the Trump administration to release $2 billion in foreign aid that was apportioned as part of the USAID. And he gave like a few hours time for them to unfreeze that stuff. It was a last minute injunction, and he demanded that the Trump administration release $2 billion in taxpayer funded aid with no prior notice. And this really got the Trump administration up in arms, and they were trying to go from pillar to post. I'll come to that in just one moment. But what this judge did was he issued a nationwide injunction, which means that ruling applies to the complete country of the United States. And this halts a law, policy, or executive action across the entire country rather than just within the judge's jurisdiction. The judge has a certain area in which that judge's jurisdiction rests. But routinely, under the Biden administration and sometimes even in the Trump administration in the past, people have started issuing these nationwide injunctions. That is, judges have started issuing these nationwide injunctions, and these are just not right, in my opinion. I think this now needs to have some sort of a legislative process whereby each state starts saying, look, your jurisdiction is where your writ runs, not outside of that. I think this is going to come one state to the other, hopefully very, very soon. Let's see how that goes. Now, there are also known cases. I mean, this is known. If you read John Grisham's books, you will know that there are sympathetic judges to any cause. And then what they do is they do what is called as bench shopping, meaning they'll find somehow a way to put it in front of a specific judge because the plaintiff thinks that they will get a favorable judgment in front of that particular judge because of his prior judgments. This has been happening. Bench shopping is very common. It happens in other countries also. That is, known. Like many judges are known. Like this is a Republican judge. This is a Democrat judge. So these are all there from before. But somehow the areas where they are painting is going outside the line. That's where the concern is. The nationwide injunctions blur the line between the judiciary and the executive branch, with unelected judges overriding elected officials. See, that is a big problem. The politicians have to get elected. The judges are not, at least in many states. The advocacy groups file cases in courts where they expect favorable rulings leading to biased judicial outcomes. They also lead to long legal battles, delaying critical policy implementations. Lawmakers have introduced bills to limit federal judges from issuing nationwide orders. SCOTUS has blocked some injunctions that overstepped judicial authority, reinforcing executive powers. Chief Justice Roberts has been leading the way, and he in fact criticized the overuse of nationwide injunctions, calling them a threat to justice. So there is a federal court, and that's where the judge Aamir Ali issued the order to unfreeze $2 billion. Now the next level is the DC District Court, and the DC District Court essentially ignored President Trump's appeal, forcing the Trump administration to take the case directly to the SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, where Roberts immediately blocked the order. Democrats have strategically used lower federal courts to block Trump's policies. The rot runs deep. Soros and deep state, the city of London, these people have essentially completely penetrated inside the various arms of legislature, judiciary, and administration, and so on and so forth. You can say Kamala Harris, Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, they're all part of this thing. They essentially are being propped up by these people. That is how they have been able to get away with a lot of these things. I mean, think about it. Since 2000, right? 2000 to 2008 was Republican. 2008 to 2016 was Democrat. 16 to 20 was Republican. Again, 20 to 24 was Democrat. But if you look at the amount of hammering the basic legal structure of the country has taken, the Democrats have really taken a sledgehammer to it. They have really, really wrecked the whole institutions. And now, hopefully, this time and maybe next 2 terms also, it will be a Republican president. They can build it back and restore confidence to many of these institutions. The court will no longer tolerate activist judges who block national policy from a single courtroom. See, this establishes a precedent. John Roberts' ruling establishes a precedent. And now they can quote this and say, no, you cannot do this thing. And in fact, the judge himself cannot even rule. This is the thing. I mean, if the judge still goes ahead and does these injunctions is the equivalent of stay order, then basically the judge is ignorant. That's all I can say. Now, USAID's headquarters has been shut down, and many of the workers have been sent home. The strength now is down to 255. It is believed at one point the USAID had a budget of $60 billion and was employing 10,000 people worldwide. 10,000. Mass notices were sent out terminating 90% or more of the USAID contracts for humanitarian and development work globally. Thousands of USAID employees were put on leave or fired, and they were given only 15 minutes notice. It may sound cruel, but think about it this way. There are instances where it is believed that people have gone and deleted data from the servers. And then you can say, oh, what about backup? Wait a minute. Somebody who's deleting the server data, you think is going to stop there? They are going to delete the backup too. And then you can say, oh, what about the tapes that have the backup? Look, not every organization has this multi-tiered redundancy. Please understand that. I mean, some of you guys' comments are very good, but sometimes you need to think through what is happening. Not all governments are up to date in terms of computing technology, even in the United States, because there are some states that are dirt poor. They can't afford it. In fact, they are finding it very difficult to even run the elections. So I'm just saying that it depends upon the state that we are talking about, the courtroom that we are talking about. So there are lots of variations here and there, which is why the USAID employees were given 15 minutes to pack up and leave the heck out of there. And many were barred from re-entering the premises, and only a small fraction remain on duty. I told you 245 or 255, somewhere in that ballpark. The termination of USAID shut down contracts with numerous NGOs and international development organizations. The Democrats are likely to challenge the shutdown, arguing that foreign aid benefits U.S. strategic interests abroad. Like I've been saying this, where all the money has been going. For example, it is believed between $45 to $85 million of aid from US is going into Afghanistan to support the Taliban. Why? They can run their country on their own. Why do they need the US taxpayer dollars? One wonders. Anyway, that is going to come out a little bit more. Just wait, in the few weeks from now, you will find out more about it, because some very enthusiastic Republicans are chasing those things. Critics of USAID misuse of funds support the shutdown, claiming it ends wasteful spending on ineffective programs. The USAID budget, $60 billion, has been slashed. It's a much smaller number. I don't know what exactly the number is, but it also comes under the purview of the Department of State, with Marco Rubio being the head. So he gets to see where the money is getting appropriated. And it is also a big change in the way the USAID will be operating under the Trump administration. Expect a lot of changes, and I'm also hoping that peace will start returning to some of these perennially problem points, especially in India, like for example the Manipur problem or the Naxal problem, or all these agitations that come, the farmer riots, the Kudangulam protests, and all these things. These are all having the footprints of USAID funded thing. And I'm pissed as hell that all this is my taxpayer money. And I hope that the Trump administration sticks to America First policy and not go back to the way things were. Roberts' decision creates a precedent. It now says the law is settled, that the lower level judges cannot issue national injunctions anymore. But then, is it a little bit late now? I don't know. I hope that at least now the DOJ will do its work and they will start making sure that justice is done. It's just too much to take. And remember, there's a huge deficit to cover, $36 trillion. And that's how it's going to go, $1 at a time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Please click all on the bell notification so that you will get notified every time a new video drops. Thanks once again. Namaskar.